What's going on, YouTube? Well, I'm looking at the camera. All right, it's been early right now. We've got to get this content out, though. I was going to do a mashup, kind of like first impressions of Battlefield 2042 in the first place, but it's going to take a bit of time to get all that footage together, mesh it out right. I'll probably get it done tomorrow. I'll get off a bit early from the stream, but we're going on 8 a.m. right now. We just got out of it. Had a rocky start going in, but I thought I'd showcase one of the modes inside of this Hazard Zones. It's a new mode that's to Battlefield. Bit like Escape from Tarkov mixed in with a battle royale. You got 32 players, 4-man team yourself. Right now in the background, you'll see the gameplay of me going into one of these. We get 3 other players together. And essentially, I kind of break down what the Hazard Zone is, show you some of the gameplay, what to expect from it. It's a bit early as well, so I may do a little bit of rambling, but we'll get through this. But Hazard Zone, I mean, this new mode has essentially solidified every dollar I spent into getting this game and getting it for early as well. I mean, I'm going to probably put hours and hours into this mode itself. I really enjoy this. Now, the number one thing that is downfall of this game, hopefully soon, and I mean really soon, they implement this. But right now, there is no voice chat. And I'm telling you right now, this mode requires voice chat. In a way, you can work around it without voice chat, but I mean, you are completely hindered considering you're working with a 4-man team. As soon as you die, I mean, it's up to those 3. You're not respawning. This is one of those modes when you die, you can find a couple of laptops or things around, or you can buy up things previous to that. As you notice, we'll look at the map right now. There's a couple of those yellow icons laying around. Those are the data things, or the data nodes, these little yellow bricks, essentially just data hard drives that you have to collect. You'll notice right now I get to pick my weapon, secondary, and what we'll essentially do from this mode. Let me take it from the top. Well, in Hazard Zone, you go in, you got your 4-man team, 28 other players on the map, but there's also AI combatants inside of the mode as well. You kill a couple of them, more will start to spawn. There's some way to stop them from getting their transmission out to call in more. Don't know exactly how to get that done. Like I said, had a rocky start coming into the game. Had a long download time. A lot of things went wrong, but as you'll notice, we have a couple of things that are purchasable before going in. That's why I kind of give this like an Escape from Tarkov kind of vibe, because essentially we'll go in, we'll collect these data hard drives, and the more you collect, the more money you can earn by the end of this. And you have to find an extraction site, which a bird will come down. You'll see that in the gameplay coming up. I'll show it to you. And essentially you'll have to get to that bird with the data hard drives on you or your team, or if you're the last man standing, you got to make it out yourself, and you'll have 30 seconds once you get onto that chopper to kind of defend yourself in case there's other enemy teams or enemy combatants that are AI trying to take you down before you fly out. Once that timer's up, you get out. If you got data hard drives, you collect some currency, which you can use on the next match to buy up the ability to collect more data hard drives, the ability to redeploy a teammate that may have died. But let's take it from the beginning. You come in on a bird, random location each time. It's kind of got its own spawning mechanism inside of it. Now, sometimes you will be pretty close by to some either AI combatants or another enemy team, so sometimes it won't take too long to go in and grab somebody. Now, in the beginning, before you're able to buy things, I bought up plates this time. You could buy up plates, other deployable objects, more ammunition to be able to carry, because there's only a few locations around. This is where the kind of specialists come into play. Would be a good idea to have a medic, guy that can drop ammunition for you, somebody that has, anti-vehicle, like rockets or something. You know, you really start to get into this mode, and you start thinking, you know, you're really utilizing the classes, utilizing the equipment that you'll bring in as well, that you'll buy up to help benefit you going forward. Like I said, you'll be able to buy up things but this is one of the satellites. Now, during the match, in the beginning, you'll have spotter scope, and you'll be able to locate where some of these data drives are. Cool thing about this as well is you'll notice those are the circles. These are going to be the locations of where you can see those. Didn't have the spotter scope on this one, so I can't really showcase it too well for you right here, but somebody else has it, and they're spotting those and giving those locations for us. But say someone else, enemy team, has some data drives on them, you'll be able to see that as well. So sometimes when you're marking these locations, it may not be a satellite drop, it may be another team with those data drives on them as well. So it's one thing to note when you're getting closer to some of these objects, it will show you, meters away from it. Kind of be cautious when moving toward it. Even some of those satellite drops, you want to be cautious before moving in on that thing as well, because it could be another enemy team, enemy combatant AI as well, coming around it, looking around. You don't want to get caught off guard. If you don't have armor plates, all you got is your health. If you don't have a solid healer with you, or the healer isn't even close by, you're kind of doing that point man work. You can go pear-shaped pretty quickly. You can get dropped pretty fast. I've had more than a few rounds in this. I've even had a moment where I got ran over by a vehicle from the AI enemy. Very frustrating, but the game mode itself is exhilarating. I love the fast-paced nature of it. You've got a large map to go across. You're constantly going from point to point, grabbing up these hard drives, trying to get as maximum amount as you can. As you'll notice down on the left-hand side, I've already got 2 slots extra. The little gray little objects right there next to my name or underneath it. You notice one person already has one filled in yellow. That means they've got 1 data drive. As far as I can tell, the spawn or the initial satellites that are already dropped, there's only going to be 1 data drive out of them available. But as the match progresses on, you'll notice from the sky there'll be some it looks like meteor fragments coming down, but it's just satellites dropping. And that'll give you the ability to gain 3 at a time. So the longer you're in the match, the more data drives you can collect, the more currency you can collect. And there's also upgrades to get 100% more of the currency gained from each data drive as well. Something you can utilize with that money that you go forward with that can further improve the quantity of money that you can gain, or different abilities you can have as well. And each one of these is on each of the maps inside of Battlefield 2042. You'll notice that same as Conquest. I don't know exactly how many maps there are, but there's more than a handful of them. Fairly large, a lot of different points of interest, and I'll tell you right now, there's more than a few spots later on in this gameplay footage you'll see that are just they're open field, open landmarks, no cover to be found. You don't want to be caught out in one of those. Enemy team spots you. I mean, obviously, if they can lead their shot, they're more than likely going to drop you. Now, I'm not sure when it comes to attachments how this game mode works. I wasn't able to put any attachments on. I was fairly low level when I was playing these. But in the beginning, this is the free weapon that you can always come in with. You can buy up other weapons as well, marksman rifles, sniper rifles, LMGs, things of that nature. And again, it comes down to one of those moments where you kind of build out the class, get 3 other your buddies with you, really work together in unison. And since there is no voice chat right now, it'd be a huge benefit to you and your whole team if you're all on Discord, or say you're on PlayStation or Xbox, get up in a group party chat. Sadly, that's the way it is. I mean, this frustrated me to no end that I couldn't. I mean, I was about ready to just yell at a lot of people inside of this game mode, not gonna lie, because they seem to act like this is going to be Call of Duty. Let's just run around, wait till we get shot 1 or 2 times, and then try to pick them off as we get shot out in the open. I mean, it's just not going to work out. I'm kind of panicked right now. I'm still fresh in this mode. I'm looking at every corner before I'm even moving out into the open area. You'll notice somewhere over there, you've got some enemy combatants dropping in. That's going to be some of the AI. We've already killed a couple of them right here. And losing my train of thought. Still early in the morning, but we're gonna get this gameplay footage going. But we got one person. Where was I? Enemy combatants. They'll spawn in. You'll notice here in a second there's going to be a vehicle showing up, and that's going to be some of the enemy combatants. I remember this moment. As you'll notice, we've got the circle marked out by one of the teammates behind us. They're showing that there's data drives over there. Again, it could be one of those enemy teams holding onto a data drive, but luckily enough for us, it was just another satellite drop. But I heard a vehicle coming in. Boom, we've got one right there. They've got that minigun on top. Now, you can shoot these people through the front window, but from the back, it's going to be kind of hard to. I kind of got a couple of shots. Luckily, the AI, well, AI in general, they're not the greatest. You notice it's kind of just fumbling in its own. Don't know who I shot in the head right there. I guess it was the gunner himself. I'm just kind of popping shots. Next thing you notice, I can't even tell if those are real players up top there. It's kind of hard to tell which one's going to be enemy combatant, which one's AI. But you notice on the left-hand side, the Zay Euro, he killed him PFCB, and you'll see AI at the end of them. That'll tell you when you're facing enemy combatants, or if it's a real player, it won't have that AI at the end of it. Now, I've run out of ammo here. I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do. I was playing the healer this one. I was a pretty poor healer. Trust me, I was healing myself. It's kind of what I was utilizing at this time since I couldn't have voice chat. So I'm just like, yeah, maintain myself at least. Just try to enjoy the game mode itself and just figure it out. But as you noticed before, we killed some of the drivers from this. So we ended up getting a vehicle ourselves. I noticed there's little ammo piles. Now there will be ammunition kind of depot things laying around at certain locations. You'll have to find them. That's why I say it would be a good idea to have somebody that can drop ammo for you on the go, because these aren't going to be everywhere. You're going to have to find these, and say it was one of those moments where you're just completely depleted. You'd like to have it right there, especially if there was a full enemy team, real players coming up against you, and you're just running out like that. Pistol's just not going to do. Randomly found a hard drive itself, by itself. Not sure how exactly that works. Maybe there are some that just drop, or that could have been enemy team that had died with it. Could be one of those moments. I'm not sure if that's how it works, and they'll drop it if they say die to enemy combatants that are the AI. But by this point, we get the vehicle, and you'll notice there'll be a little E2 over here. That's going to be the extraction vehicle. Now that left, I wasn't sure if there was going to be more, but by that point, there's going to be multiple extraction planes, whatever you want to call them. I can't remember the name of it right now, but they'll come down at certain time modes. But in between, say that, like that one just left right now. Right now we still got available slots to pick up some more hard drives, so we're just going to go for that. Here's one that dropped a little bit later in the game, and as you'll notice, we're getting 3 of them right here. Just press X on it, grab them out, fill up your slots, boom. Right now we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What is it? I can't even tell. Yeah, I think it's 10 right now. Like I said, still early right now, but felt I needed to get this content out. Really enjoy this mode. Definitely going to be putting some hours into this. Now here coming up soon, we ended up ditching the vehicle, and you'll notice we'll come up on another satellite drop full of enemy combatants. Honestly, I think we just got lucky. There wasn't that many other real players, that is. But real players can't die to the AI bots, so you're not always going to run into them immediately, or if at all. Like I said before, was shooting at that guy, and you'll notice when I was getting hit markers, they had a little blue tint to it. That's when you know that some of the enemies have armor, and generally, as far as I can tell, when it comes down to the enemy combatants themselves that are AI, I don't think they do wear armor, so if you do hit somebody and it gives that little blue hit mark around it, generally I believe that's going to be a real player. So if you do notice that, one thing to be cautious of, kind of play it smarter than you would against the AI, since the AI aren't exactly the most competent when it comes to enemies themselves. But for the most part, we ditched the vehicle. I'm not sure why we ditched the vehicle, to be honest, but we've got a load of different enemy combatants over here. Don't know how many there are over that hill, but as you'll see in the left-hand corner, we got the AI. You'll notice that on the nameplate as well, whenever it's red right there. Just taking out a couple of them. Still want those leftover drives. Really wanted to maximize this run. Then I see one person's gone down. Kind of time to regroup together, especially since we can't speak to each other. We definitely need that person back up and going. Now, once you do, deplete your health, you will just go down initially, but somebody can finish you. And in that moment, I don't think I had the moment in this gameplay, but there will be, there'll be like a weird kind of staticky electrical noise when you're around these certain laptops that are laying around. What these are kind of just like almost like a power-up in a way, or just something to deploy. You could get one of the armored dog things. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a 4-legged machine thing with a turret on its back that'll guard you, run with you. Good things to have that you can drop in. You'll hold right bumper on a controller. Not sure about mouse and keyboard, but should be obviously in the menu if you're playing on PC on how to deploy some of these. But right bumper, hold up on the right stick, left stick, can't remember exactly right now, didn't have it in this gameplay, but in that moment, in that same thing, if you pick up some of the laptops, there can be extra deploys. Say one of your teammates dies, you could be able to deploy them back in during middle of a fight or after you've cleaned up the area as well. 'Cause sometimes, obviously, you have to go through a menu in order to get to this. And if you got a full-on real player enemy team, could be a problem. Now, I don't know what happened to the vehicle. I'm not sure if this is something that happens regularly, but the vehicle we did have, I couldn't find it. I'm not sure if it despawned. Maybe one thing to look for. If you do get a vehicle, keep with it. Who knows? Maybe an enemy team took it from us. Didn't even know. Could have happened. But here we come down and we see the E2 in the distance. That's going to be our second extraction. That's going to be the next one that's available for us to get out of there and get away with the drives and get that currency going forward into the next mode. And, I mean, I know we were getting shot at from behind, but I'm like, all right, we need to move off in the top right corner behind the camera right here. There was some, like, you can do text chat, so that is in the game, and a couple of the teammates were saying, yeah, let's move, let's get to the extraction. We've already got enough of the drives. I mean, this is more than I've had in any of the other matches, so I'd like to get some currency up so I can replay this with some better weapons, better upgrades. I'm not sure if this is separate from the Conquest version of the multiplayer, and when it comes to leveling, I know you will still level. That will unlock weapons and other things and vehicles throughout the regular multiplayer. But when it comes to this mode, I don't know if there's like a separate unlock system when it comes to the ability to unlock extra equipment to have, or weapons attachments, or weapons in general. Could be true. One of those moments where I was checking, see if I had any other attachments, hopefully something long range, but you'll notice right here, whole lot of open land right here. If there's an enemy team off in the distance, they got a sniper rifle, any type of weapon, just spot us off in the distance. I mean, we got no cover right here. This is one of those moments where I'm kind of like, whew, you know, you got to get that map knowledge down so you can understand, because boom, we ran into some AI, luckily not real players. I thought this might have been some real players, but wasn't sure. But automatically, it's kind of like we got to make our final stand right here. One good moment of me being a healer, you know, the one time I really utilized it, but start taking out some of those AI, getting that cleaned up. From this point forward, we're just going to move to the extraction zone. As you notice, we got the distance right above us. It's flying on down. And once we get to this point, we're just going to hop into the helicopter. There'll be a 30-second countdown. We'll have to just defend ourselves while we're sitting in the back of it. Luckily, nobody showed up. Don't know how many other teams there were. But this is one of those modes that I'm very excited about. This is something I'm going to put a lot of time in. It really makes this game worthwhile to me. A different mode that just extends the replayability for me and just gives me a different objective besides Conquest, just moving from point to point, using different vehicles. It's just going to be a good time overall. And I just needed... I felt like I needed to pump out some content for this today. Like I said, we'll have first impressions tomorrow. Literally the only thing that I had a serious problem was literally the fact that there's no voice chat. But yeah, as you'll notice, we got the data drives. We got 1,000 currency from that. You'll get currency from some of those kills and other moments, and then we'll get like a extraction streak. I don't know if that actually applies to gaining more currency, but we'll see in the coming future. I'll have more information on this. I'll do some more videos. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to see more content like this. See some more content of some of the maps as well going forward. Maybe some classes that could be good as a full-on stacked team when it comes to this mode. Like I said, pretty early right now, guys. I'm going to have to cut it on short here. If you want to see more of this gameplay live, though, I'll have a link down in the description to my Twitch. Follow me over there. Check this out. I'll be doing some more tomorrow. As soon as I wake up, we'll get straight into it. And I'm streaming every day. Like I said, I might start rambling, but we got a couple of unlocks from this. Like I said, you'll still get player level from this mode that will affect your regular multiplayer mode. and gain the unlocks for the new weapons, the different vehicles that you can spawn with and use inside of the multiplayer itself. And I'm not sure if you do gain, because I've noticed when it comes to the weapon attachments, when you get kills with certain weapons, that's the way you're going to gain those attachments further on down the line. It's not going to be based on leveling, it's based on you using that weapon, gaining the ability to be more useful with that weapon, with recoil control, different sights for long, short range, red dots, different ammunition types as well that can increase your rate of fire, ammunition or size of the magazine, and different calibers of rounds, for one being more deadly than the other, and also grips. Oh man, again guys, pretty early, starting to ramble now, but we'll cut it up pretty short right here. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see more content like this, go in a little bit more depth on this mode as well, and I'll also do tomorrow a little kind of mashup of different gameplay footage and kind of give my first impressions on the game itself. But on that note, hope you guys enjoyed this and have a good one.